Hi, I'm Catherine and I'm demand avoidant. Demand avoidance can be a part of ADHD, dementia, PTSD, head injury, other conditions. But for me, it's a part of autism, a profile of autism called PDA, pathological demand avoidance or persistent drive for autonomy. Let's talk about demands for a second, because I think that there's a misunderstanding that demands are only direct orders that come from someone else. Like if someone tells me what to do in the form of instructions or unsolicited advice, that is directly demanding and very much triggers my PDA threat response. However, demands can come from me. They can involve doing things for other people, and they can involve doing things for myself. They can be overt and directly expressed to me, like, Catherine, do that. Or they can be nicely worded, like, Catherine, would you please do that? I have an interest-based nervous system. I have a nervous system that seeks flow and freedom at all times. And if I am in a flow state, it's very hard for me to switch gears out of that flow state. It's very hard for me to want to do anything out of that flow state. Anything like that can be a demand, and it might be stopping to feed myself or take a shower or to go to the bathroom. Even things I really want to do, like playing with my kids or having intimate time with my husband, those things can become demands as well. And it has very little to do with how people ask me. Like sometimes people don't even have to say something out loud. It can be communicated with energy, body language. My husband can breathe at me in a way that is a demand to me because we've been together for 21 years and I know him so well. He doesn't have to directly speak words to me of any kind to let me know there's something that he would like me to do. A lot of people think that if they want to make demands on a PDAer, then they just need to say it in a different way, use indirect language, or be passive aggressive. And that is not what I would recommend. I cannot stand passive aggression, and I actually need direct language because I am autistic. So for me, what I need is the space and the room to say no, or to set my own timing, or to come back around to it. I need to be allowed the autonomy to do it in my own time, in my own way. Here's an example. When we had little babies and wild sensory-seeking toddlers, I could not take a shower unless my husband was home. And he would come home and take a break and do what have a snack and do what he needed to do. And when he was ready, he would say, "You can take a shower now." And that would drive me crazy because I was just about to take a shower, and now I've been given permission or told that I can. And it now no longer feels like it's my timing. I know this is so subtle and petty almost. I wouldn't be able to take a shower if it was offered in that way. I needed to say when I was going to take a shower, even if I needed someone else's help to do it. PDA is tricky. I can be asked to do things, and I prefer to just be directly and simply asked, "Catherine, would you please do ... I like to be aware of a need. Like, Catherine, the blank needs to be taken care of. That kind of thing is very helpful and direct to me. But the answer may be no, or I can't, or I take it on and I want to do it, and the more I want to do it and the more important it is, instead of that being motivating for me, it kicks in a freeze or a flop response, and I simply can't move in that direction at all. It's a huge obstacle for me, even if I want to do it. Demands aren't just orders from authority figures or direct requests. They're not just someone telling you what to do or giving you unsolicited advice or instruction. Demands can also be much subtler. Demands might be things like feeding yourself or taking a shower, or all the steps involved in responding to an email or going to a birthday party. Demands can be things that come from inside of you, not just things other people tell you what to do. Demands can be things that aren't spoken aloud at all, that are just indicated with energy or breath or body language. They can also be social things like manners, saying please and thank you. There's a demand to the social scripts. Demands can be big things like having to do your taxes, and they can be little things like answering emails or refilling a prescription, making a phone call. Demands can also be things that you want to do that are really important to you. And unfortunately, it isn't motivating to know that it's important. In fact, the more pressure that's on it, the harder and harder and harder it is to do. Sometimes demands can be something that we're excited about, in love with, a new hyper focus, a new potential friend, something really amazing that we are so excited about. And because our nervous system gets overwhelmed, our PDA threat response is like, no, you are not doing that. It cannot tell the difference between real danger and taking a shower sometimes. My nervous system is always ready to fight a bear. And sometimes the bear is making myself go to the grocery store. Because demands are so subtle and so varied, internal, external, spoken, and unspoken, there isn't one way that you can speak to a PDA person to get them to do what you want. There isn't a magic formula like use indirect language or let them state the need but don't tell them to fulfill the need. These things can work some of the time, but if a PDAer's demand battery is used up, it's used up. If they are in burnout, they are in burnout. They simply cannot access that juice. They are disabled. Their battery is drained. However, when our battery is not drained, when we have battery reserve, PDAers can fulfill demands, and we do all the time. We take care of our bodies, our children, our homes, our businesses. During deep times of crisis, times when our autonomy has been stripped away from us, we have very little battery charge and it drains very quickly. We need a lot of flow and freedom and rest and support to get that battery charged again and to be able to take care of life's vast spoken and unspoken demands.